Morning, Merry Christmas. How you doing there?
Somebody pull my shirt back.
Thank you. We still got a few more days before we make it.
Morning.
Good morning. We want to welcome you this morning to Hidalgo County Drainage District Board of Directors meeting for today, December 28, 2012. Present are Commissioner Quintanilla, Precinct 1, Flores, Precinct 3, Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Is there anything under open forum? No, sir. Our consent agenda, any concerns?
No concerns, Judge.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 4.
Item 4, request approval to rescind action on Drainage District Number 1, Agenda Item Number 7 from November 20th, 2012, related to change order number 1 for the project number 12-011-07-11 Drainage Improvements Phase 1 Irrigation Siphon. We're requesting rescinding of the action because the dates on it were incorrect, Commissioners.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Request approval of corrected change order number 1 for project number 12-010-7-11 Drainage Improvements Phase 1 Irrigation Siphon in the amount of $2,926.07.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Under C, request approval of payment number 3, final retainage release for the McAllen Construction, Inc. for the project number 12-011-07J09 Drainage Improvements Phase 1 Irrigation Siphon. This is in precinct number 4, Commissioner Joseph Palacios. That project is completed, Commissioner, on the siphons adjustments order.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, request approval of payment request number 3 from McAllen Construction, Inc. for project number 12-013-0410, construction of replacement of weir in conjunction with NRCS grant, main floodwater channel weir number 2, Willacy County, Phase 2. It's a payment request by McAllen Construction of $167,889.97. It's been signed off by the project engineer for approval.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E, request approval to issue manual checks after review and audit of both pay requests.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 5, requesting exemption of competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code Section 262.024A for a professional service for engineering services as it relates to the La Jolla watershed improvement. This is the first bond project on the rural development that Commissioner Joe Flores is bringing for the board.
Move for approval.
Second?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, presentation of scoring grid of firms graded and evaluated through the district's pool of engineers in connection with professional engineering services required for the La Jolla watershed improvements. The scoring is as follows: LNG Engineering 99, Javier Hinojosa 90, Quintanilla Hadley and Associates 88, and these were scored and graded by the precinct office.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, requesting approval for the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 to negotiate a professional engineering services contract where the number 1 ranked firm of LNG Engineering for the provisions of engineering services for the La Jolla watershed improvements.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We have no item under closed session this time unless the board wishes to entertain one.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioner, thank you very much. I wish you all a happy new year and to you and your families, and belated Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir. We've got, it's 9:24. We've got to wait until 9:30 before we can begin our meeting. So we're going to be in recess for a little while. At this time, we're going to be convening our regular Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, December 28, 2012. Present are Commissioners Quintanilla, Precinct 1, Palacios, Precinct 4, Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us remain standing and please bow our heads. Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what is best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessings and your guidance. In your name we pray, O Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any concerns with the consent agenda?
Judge, the auditor has concerns on items 4B, 9A, 9B, and 11F. If those can be pulled for consideration separately.
11 what?
11F,
F, okay. Need a motion to approve subject to those 4 items?
second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. What's
On-
4B about?
On item 4B is just an interfund transfer. However, the caption should have stated for fiscal year 2013 and not 2012. So we can have it approved subject to that change.
So move. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On items 9A and 9B are for membership dues, and if we can have those approved subject to submittal of the affidavit for payment.
So move. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. What affidavit are you looking for?
They're looking for an affidavit for payment of membership dues.
I mean, they're not looking for the one that's related to lobbying, is it?
It might be that same affidavit that they're requesting.
But Steve said we didn't need one. Why don't we make it subject to the affidavit if required by legal?
That would work.
All right. That would have been both 9A and 9B. And 11F?
11F, let me pull that item. They're requesting that one be considered during the regular agenda, if that can be one of the items that we look at. And 11F is a recommendation of, by project engineer TESI Infrastructure Group for Commissioners Court's discussion and action to award to the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid to Texas Cordia Construction LLC in the amount of $232,566.82 for bid number CAP 12-112-1107 YS1 Road and Drainage Construction for Dimas 2 and 3 subdivisions. This is the award of a contract, so the auditor felt that item should have been on the regular agenda. I don't know if the court wants to consider that at this time. Where do you want to address that?
Good morning, Martha Salazar for purchasing. It's just a mistake in the placement. But we do want to take up item F, which is presentation and recommendation by project engineer TESI Infrastructure Group for Commissioners Court's discussion and action to award to the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid to Texas Cordia Construction in the amount of $232,566.82 for bid number 112, and that is road and drainage construction for Dimas 2 and 3 subdivisions.
What precinct is that? What precinct?
There's Dimas 1 and 2 subdivisions. I don't know what,
It's okay.
No, stop. Is there anyone here from the auditor's office? Well, there are some concerns that are being voiced, that are
That's
being
the
made
only
by the auditor.
The only concern was that it should be discussed on regular agenda, Judge. That's the only concern. It's on the letter of concern.
Yeah,
It's a
what-
point of information. Items should be discussed under the regular agenda.
But what's the item? What is it that he's concerned about? Why is he
That it
singling
shouldn't
it
be on
out?
consent, that it should be on regular.
And this is the award of bid that they went out for
Oh, yes.
construction of the.
Yes,
of the
it should have been
Colonia
on
project.
regular agenda, but there are no other concerns on it.
But is it a road and bridge or
It's
is it
a
a
Colonia
Colonia
Access
project?
Program.
Okay.
CAP.
Colonia Access Project. It's a
And-
Colonia Access Project.
The backup is on the consent agenda, ma'am?
Yes, all the backup would be there. Yes, the only difference is
probably
that it
what we
should have
should.
not been a consent agenda
Just
item.
set it aside. We're not going to take any action until somebody comes in and explains it. We don't have the information here as part of the packet that I have anyway.
You don't have anything on your agenda?
No, not for 11F. It probably isn't a consent,
Well, it is, we are discussing consent, is that correct?
right? But now you're wanting us to bring it over to the regular, and I'm only looking at the regular right now, where
Oh,
it's
no,
not.
all the backup is attached.
But if you're going to take action on the regular agenda, doesn't it have to be posted on the regular agenda?
No. No.
I want to ask legal that question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to answer
Just-
for her
Just wait until next
Does-
time we meet, whenever that may be.
on the 8th.
All right, set it down for the 8th. Okay, at this time, we're going to be moving to item 25A under Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, Raul Salguero from Precinct 2. Commissioner Hector Palacios informed the court last time that he wasn't going to be available for this meeting today, but he did want to put an item on the agenda to recognize Constable Gilbert Alanis, Chato Alanis. Chato Alanis will be in office through the end of this month, and we will have a new constable in Precinct 2. Commissioner Palacios and JP, Justice of the Peace, Bobby Contreras, asked that we place an item on the agenda, and Karina from the Public Affairs Office has prepared a resolution that we would like to present to Constable Alanis.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize the family members and friends of Constable Alanis who are here in the audience. Constable, if you would like to join me up at the podium, and your family members as well as they're introduced. His wife, Miss Dina Alanis, his daughter, Josie Alanis, his sister, Linda Vasaldua, sister-in-law, Delia Alanis, his son, Roy Alanis, daughter-in-law, Yvette Alanis, his grandkids, Audrey and Damon, his cousins, Ana Aguilar, Julio Aguilar, Diego Aguilar, and Amber. And also here in attendance are some of his friends and colleagues, Deputy Frank Sanchez, Lieutenant Carlos Elizondo, Chief Deputy Frank Sanchez, I apologize, Lieutenant Carlos Elizondo, Deputy Frank Savannah, and of course his friends that are here in attendance, Ramiro Trevino and the Honorable JP Bobby Contreras. And if I may read the resolution. Resolution in honor of Gilbert Chato Alanis. Whereas Gilbert Chato Alanis has dedicated over 37 years of service to the law enforcement community, including 27 and a half years with Hidalgo County, and whereas Alanis grew up in San Juan and was affectionately given the nickname of Chato by one of his uncles. As the years went by, the name stuck with him and would follow him throughout his career. And whereas Alanis comes from a long line of law enforcement officials. His grandfather was a San Juan city marshal in 1922, and his father was a dispatcher with the San Juan Police Department. Alanis attended PSJA High School until his father fell ill, forcing him to drop out of school to help out his family financially. Like his grandfather and father before him, Alanis turned to law enforcement as a career. He joined the San Juan Police Department, where he quickly moved up in the ranks from dispatcher to patrol officer to detective sergeant. He would eventually move up to the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, where he became the lieutenant supervisor of the patrol division. And whereas at the age of 33, the loss of his mother triggered a search for a sense of purpose in his life, Alanis turned to his career once again, and he decided to run for Precinct 2 Constable and won. In January of 1993, he was sworn into office and held the position for 20 years. And whereas Alanis's contribution and dedication to the community of Hidalgo County has taken him into the classroom where he has mentored young adolescents and teens on the dangers of crime, giving them advice and support on how to live a purposeful life. And whereas after 20 years of dedicated service, Alanis is completing his tenure as constable. He looks forward to spending quality time with his wife, Dina N. Alanis, his 3 children, Rogelio Alanis, Amanda Alanis, and Josephine Alanis, and his grandchildren. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Gilbert Chato Alanis for his outstanding service, dedication, and commitment to the citizens of Hidalgo County. Dated this 28th of December, 2012.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, commissioners, audience, as y'all know, everybody called me Chato, and I'm Chato. I will be Chato till the day. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to serve my community, which was within the precinct or out of the precinct all over the county. I was requested and asked for services, which I was given them the opportunity to, I was able to give them the service that they were required. I am very grateful for all the years. Honest to God, when I first ran, it was a distraction for me because I was a mama's boy, bottom line. And then my mom passed, and I ran not wanting to win, but I won. Thank God, and the community, the people. Then another campaign came. Hey, let's do it again, Chato, let's run. Okay, but then I got more involved into the office. I got more involved with the community, more involved with the people, helping and directing young children. They would come up to me. The parents would with advice. And thank God, a lot of them pulled through. Unfortunately, some didn't, but more than 80% of them pulled through. And every day, people would come up to me and thank me, and the kids themselves would come up and say, Chato, if it wasn't for you, Chato, thank you for buying me tennis. Chato, for giving me clothing, giving me this. I mean, there was no need for you to do that, but out of my heart, I would do it because that's the way I was born and raised, and I will continue being the same person. Yes, I'm getting out of office, but I'm not getting out of the county. And I want to also thank and give a lot of praise to Fern, that you all keep us on our toes, which is good. Not that we as elected officials do wrong, but you all bring up very special issues. And my applause to you, my hats off to you, honest to God. And with this, I close. I will remain. I'm very proud of my family, my deputies. Yes, I had some problems in my office, but problems are all over the world. What can we say? We cannot control everybody. Within recent times, yes, you know what they're doing. After they leave, I mean, this is America. This is not Hitler. So, again, I want to thank each and every one of you. My number, people will tell me, change your number, Chato, because they're going to be bugging you. My number will remain the same. And if you all need my assistance, hopefully, maybe, who knows, I'll be back before you know it. God bless all of you. Have a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And I love all of you. Thank you.
Chato, on behalf of the County Commissioners Court, on behalf of the residents of Hidalgo County, and on behalf of specifically the residents of County Commissioner Precinct 2, we want to thank you for your lifetime of public service. 37 years is a lifetime. of
Yes,
a
sir.
professional career, and 22 of those as an elected official.
20.
You did an outstanding job. The people in our area certainly recognize the effort that you have put into your work, and we do want to thank you again formally. You and your family, because without their help, their support, none of this would have probably been possible.
That's very true. Thank you, Judge.
And I know our JP, Bobby, were you wanting to say a few words? I know you both have been very, very close throughout these many years.
For years.
I wasn't prepared, but it's been a good trip working with Chato and his staff. He's got a good group of people working for him, and I know that the new constable is going to continue doing the same work. Thank you, Chato. Appreciate it.
Judge, appreciate it.
Thank you for allowing me to be.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, como le digo, I mean, I've been through a lot of commissioners, a lot of judges. One person that goes back then is Valde Guerra, because I would deal with Valde a lot.
He's a survivor, isn't he?
Very much of a survivor. So, otra vez, I give everybody the thanks and their blessings, and my blessings to all of you, and God bless all of you, and thank you very much.
God bless
I
you.
know.
Another person that I want to recognize, not because he's a businessman, but he's all heart. He's a person that is there for the people, and I just talked to him not too long ago. Right now, we're working on a foundation for the needy. It's already been approved by the state, and thanks to this person, we found a place without him asking me or telling me, Chato, is my name going to be there? No. We went to different places. The cities wanted the recognition that they created this, but Mr. John Phillips is here present with me. Thank you, Mr. Phillips. He's a real good friend of mine.
Certainly, certainly, John.
I'm not a very good public speaker, but I felt like, and I was late today because when Chato told me it was his deal was going to be at the courtroom, I thought it was going to be in Bobby's courtroom. So I was way on the other side of the county. So I apologize for being late. But I felt compelled to rush over here because I think it needs to be said that I don't know anybody that has more heart than Chato Alanis. Chato doesn't care, how much money you have in the bank or who your family is. He has always been there for the people. Two different things come to my mind. I guess I've known Chato more than 15 years. One time was when Mondo Garza from San Juan, the current mayor pro tem, his 2-year-old daughter was very, very sick. We thought maybe we were losing her, but the doctors thought that child needed to be at the Driscoll Hospital in Corpus, but that taking her in an ambulance would have scared her to death, and with a bronchial problem, that was the last thing that needed to be done. So I told Mondo that we would take my bus and bring a nurse aboard, and we would take that child to the hospital in Corpus. And so I picked up the phone and I called Chato and I said, Chato, I know this would be out of your jurisdiction, but would you escort us? And Chato's the type of guy that when you ask him a question, he's the type of friend where he says, you know, what can I do to help you? And he means it from his heart. Without asking me any of the particulars, he said, you can count on me, John. And that's just the type of guy Chato is, and I thought it needed to be said. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, let's take some pictures. You want to bring the family? Or? Chato. Come on over. Viejo, buena suerte. All right, we now move back to item number 5 under open forum. We have two presenters. Fern McClarity.
I didn't realize I was the first one. My first question here is number 24A. It's under Precinct 1. Why are you allowing Constable Quintanilla to make this decision instead of not waiting until AC comes in? Because this term is from January 13 to December 13. So my question is, why are you not allowing the one that is coming in to make this decision?
Why do you assume that we are?
Well, I'm just asking a question. Mine's just a question. I didn't want to stand up for each one, so I thought I'd let you have it now so you know that I did have a question on it.
All right.
All right, the second one, a question, is last week we paid an invoice from an attorney that was 4 years old or older, and we're doing it again today. This is number 7E. We're paying $6,535 for an invoice, and it has on there, attorney has 4 years from the date of service to provide us with an attorney's fee expense claim form. We are unable to pay this because the time has run out. This is on both the paperwork, and it is written on the invoice right there, unable to pay because of the 4-year limitation is up. So my question is, why are we still paying them? I understand that we probably owe it to them, but they need to do their bookwork maybe a little better or find out what the problem is so that they can get paid in a timely manner instead of going over 4 years. And then the third thing, I saw in the advance paper, which comes out of FAR, I believe it was on December 19th, it says South Texas College votes for possible November 13th bond election for expansion, and it could be approaching $150 million. Again, this is one of the taxing entities that we have on our tax bill, and in this statement it talks about $100,000 property would only be about $30. So this $30 and the $25 that y'all just passed recently, this is what we talk about. It's a constant, what's a little $25, what's a little $30. So my thing is always is that you tax our property out from under us. And this is just one more that will be coming up. So we just asked you on the courthouse and things like this, that you remember it's always the same people that are paying the bill. Thank you.
All right, next presenter is Opal Billman.
Good morning. My name is Opal Billman. False imprisonment is a crime. In Hidalgo County, I have been held in police-enforced false imprisonment for 15 years. I have reported this crime to the people who govern Hidalgo County, and I have reported it to officials of the state of Texas. The crime still continues. I request the violation of my civil rights under Amendments 5 and 14 cease. The 275th District Court was petitioned for a divorce. The only job the judge had was to give a fair settlement of private property owned by Joe and me to Joe and me. The court gave no value or division of our community property. In regards to divorce settlement of our community property, the 275th District Court in Hidalgo County did nothing. Instead of a divorce settlement between the spouses, the court appointed our son to manage the community property of his parents. Through the appointment of a manager, the court took control of our community property, appointed a beneficiary for it, and refuses to release it. This is the setup. Jason filed with the Secretary of State to certify a shell corporation. The shell corporation belongs to Jason. If the 275th District Court had issued a fair settlement and a final divorce, which it didn't, Joe could have done whatever he wanted to do with his property. But Joe cannot convey our community property into Jason's shell corporation. Our community property is not an asset of the Billman Real Estate Ltd. Jason has no ownership in the community property of his parents. Jason is being used by the court as a means to convey our community property to the court-appointed beneficiary. The shell corporation owned by Jason is an empty entity. The court is hanging on to a document titled Oality Deed of Trust issued to the beneficiary, which the court refuses to revoke. Texas law does not gift everything we own to a disinterested third party and call it a divorce settlement. Because Joe died, Jason and his two sisters inherit equally the property owned by their father. That's Texas law. Joe willed Jason's corporation. He did not include any of his land in his will. He does not have to. Joe owns the land. The state of Texas passes Joe's land to Joe's heirs. That's Texas law. The 275th District Court did not dismiss the divorce case when Joe died, although the law is that they must, making it possible for our community property to progress through probate court. The result being our community property remained in the 275th District Court with the court's appointed beneficiary during probate. The Hidalgo County Probate Court owes the heirs of Joe Billman and me an updated deed for our land, and the 275th District Court needs to follow the law, revoke their court-appointed beneficiary, and legally remove this divorce case from the court's control. Joe's three rightful heirs have not received their rightful inheritance, which is land and capital improvements. This is the setup. When I have passed and it becomes evident to Joe's heirs that they have been hoodwinked, it will be Jason that the 275th District Court and Probate Court blame. After all, he is the executor. After all, it is the executor's responsibility to see that the rightful heirs get their inheritance. Jason did his job. Jason is not a lawyer. He hired one. In fact, I understand there were 3 lawyers. Not one of them said.
30 seconds, please, ma'am.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, we're going to defer action on 6A, 1 and 2. And I believe, Mayor, I believe they're still negotiating on the La Villa matter. Under item 6B, is that Bobby also? Okay, we're going to defer until Mr. Villarreal gets here. Item number 7, our executive officer.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Items 7A, 1 and 2, there's no action at this time unless there's action to be taken further down the agenda. Item 7B, there is no update today. Item 7C, I do have a representative for the Tax Reinvestment Zone, TERS, in the City of Hidalgo. And if I may, Judge, Commissioners, item 7C is discussion, consideration, and action approving Resolution 2012-01, annexing and de-annexing a property from the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone, TERS number 1, in the City of Hidalgo.
Judge, Commissioners, my name is Lance Elliott. I'm a consultant with the City of Hidalgo. The City of Hidalgo is asking to de-annex approximately 72 acres of property from their reinvestment zone and to annex in approximately 72 acres from their reinvestment zone, which will not change, materially change the size of the zone in any way. All 4 tracts are undeveloped property, but the 2 tracts being annexed in would like to be annexed in for purposes of looping their water system. And if there was some confusion yesterday between the auditor's office on whether y'all had maps or not. Did we get maps for the backup?
I've got an email that you did provide a response.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and just pass out maps.
Okay.
The 2 tracts in purple are the 2 tracts that are being asked to be de-annexed from the property, and the 2 tracts in blue are the tracts that are asking to be annexed into the property. And in the event that the Commissioners Court approves this annexation and de-annexation today, then the city will get with the county legal staff and in order to amend the interlocal agreement with the county reflecting the changes.
Right. And the purpose is what?
The purpose is the city wants to make some loops in its water system in order for fire flow and for circulation. And the 2 contiguous tracts at Dicker and Jackson Road, they need to come up on those properties to loop their system. And the 2 tracts being de-annexed, the 1 track on Dicker Road at Dicker and McCall Road, we felt was a comparable track to the one at Jackson and Dicker Road in value and in use. All of the properties except for the interior track right here have ag values on them now.
Valerie, are there any legal issues? No? Okay.
And Judge, if I may, Mr. Elliott, just as a point of information, the City of Hidalgo has entertained this action as well.
Yes, the Board of Directors of the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone have approved the annexation, de-annexation, and the City Council of the City of Hidalgo has approved the annexation, the de-annexation. If the Commissioners Court approves it, then we will move forward with legal counsel to amend the interlocal agreement.
I would entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Elliott.
Court.
Thank you, sir. Item D is in David.
Thank you, Judge. Item D is there is a request to use the Hidalgo County Courthouse for a 2013 mock trial competition to be held on Saturday, January 26, 2013, and Monday, January 28, 2013, in the evening. These requests are brought before Commissioners Court so that we can make proper arrangements to provide setup, cleanup, and security.
What about insurance?
All the proper insurances are provided to us, yes, sir.
Okay. Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item E, Judge, Commissioners, is a process of a payment of a claim. It is for Ricardo Palacios, attorney at law. It's for $6,535, and this is in connection with legal representation of indigent defendants. Obviously, this is with the authority of the county treasurer to issue payment after review and auditing procedures are completed by our county auditor's office. I am asking for approval.
Why is it never got paid?
Commissioner, these are issues that come to our office. All I can tell you is that it is past whatever the time frame that's allowable for these to be processed. In the past, I have noted that they have fallen through the cracks.
But we've gotten this bill before, right?
Yes, we've gotten
had it for a long
before.
time.
Yes, and the services were rendered.
It was our fault.
It was our fault, actually.
Yeah, there was, right, I mean, there was a breakdown in communication somewhere along that process whenever this was introduced. And so the only remedy at this point is to come to Commissioner's Court since it's exceeded that time frame in which they're allowed to process this claim. That's why the auditor's office.
When was the first time we got this bill? Years ago?
Oh, yes. I mean, this was some time back.
And it was not paid because?
Commissioner, I couldn't answer that. It's just one of those things, like I said, they fall through the cracks.
But we owe this money.
Yeah, there is no question that the services were rendered.
All right,
It's
move
the
for
same
approval.
situation we have with all the others that we brought
Yeah.
before court.
Move for approval.
Need a second? Commissioner?
Second.
I'm going to abstain for the record.
For the record, we have one abstention, Commissioner Palacios. Joseph? Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Item F, I'm asking permission for Mr. Brad Cowan to travel to San Antonio. This is for a Beltwide Cotton Conference. This is on January 7th through the 10th of 2013, as well as allowing Ms. Barbara Storrs, our Ag Extension lead agent, to travel to College Station, and this is for the A&M AgriLife Conference, January 7th through 9th of 2013.
Move for approval, 1 and 2.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge Commissioner.
Monica, we need that affidavit. All right.
Commissioners, excuse me, Judge Commissioners, item G is a transfer of an individual that was assigned to my office sometime this year. Commissioner Precinct 4 was gracious enough to allow a staffer to help me out on Road and Bridge and County Parks wide projects. One of the biggest projects that we had was the Parks Master Park Plan project that we've been working on. I know that all representatives from the commissioners have been attending these meetings, but this individual has been assisting me given the limited resources that we have. And so given that there's still a lot of work to be done, the commissioner has graciously offered to transfer the individual to my office. So I am asking the court for this transfer, and so I would be asking would be the creation of the equivalency of this position title, which is the administrative assistant, which is slot 0015, to be effective 1/1/2013. So the transfer would be employee number 026174 from Department Precinct 4 Road and Bridge Maintenance, slot 003 and 001, Special Project Coordinator. The total salary that's being deleted is $54,381. And so the transfer creation would be to the Executive Office, slot 0015, Administrative 5, at a new salary, which will be a lower salary, at $49,020.
And the money is going with it and everything?
Yes, sir. It's a complete transfer of funds as well.
All right, move for approval.
Of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
All right, next item, number 8. Constable Precinct 2.
Judge, Commissioners, I do have the Constable-elect, Mr. Cantu, coming up to the podium, but in essence, this is the resetting of a salary for a regular full-time position. This is effective 1/1/2013. This is for the exempt position that he has in that office. This is Chief Deputy Constable 1, and so it is a current step, S2 to a current step, or a resetting of the step to a S6. That would also include an interval transfer and revised salary schedule. Mr.
What does
Cantu?
that mean? Is it a salary increase or what?
No, it's a resetting of the position.
Well, but all the other constables What's their highest, the chief deputy, what's their recent step?
Sergio, do you have that information? Okay, well, I'll tell you what, can we, with your permission, Mr. Cantu, could we just defer for a couple of minutes while we get that information? Okay, just give us a couple minutes and, Sergio, go to the back.
What is it that we're looking for, Valdez?
The rest of the salaries for the other chief
We're trying to
deputies.
make them comparable.
Yes,
The rest of the
I understand.
constables.
Okay. Sergio, if I could, Sergio, could I ask you to come to the podium for item B? This is action that the court requested for us to place on the agenda, which was for the local border security program for constables precincts 2 and constables precinct 3. Sergio, you want to?
Sure. This is just authority to apply for the local border security program grant, LBSP, fiscal year 2013, with the Texas Rangers Division of the Texas Department of Public Safety. These are for constables precinct 2 and constable precinct 3, with approval of the resolution, which I believe had already been approved by Commissioners Court, resolution allowing the overtime of the deputies, the exempt positions, to be paid the overtime on these grants only.
Move to approve.
On 1, 2, and 3?
Yes, sir.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On item C, is the same action is being requested, except this is for Constable Precinct 3. If I can have actions on item 1 and 2.
Move to approve items
Second.
1 and 2.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Just for the record, the resolution authorizing the constables to be paid the overtime would also be used for Precinct 3. I believe the resolution that we passed covered all the constables. We just needed to bring back the authority to have constables 2 and 3 apply for the same grant as well.
That's correct.
So the resolution will also apply to Constable Precinct 3, even though it's not listed on the agenda.
I know you got Larry behind you. I don't know if he wants to address the court.
No, go ahead.
Good morning. Happy holidays to all of you all. 8D, Constable Precinct 3. This has to do with being able to participate or to purchase surplus equipment from the federal government or from the state. Discussion, consideration, approval for Constable Precinct 3 to apply for Texas 1033 surplus program, number 1. And then number 2, authorize and approve the county judge as authorized official to sign required documents.
Move to approve items 1, 2, and 3.
And 3, yes.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
8E, and I need to ask Valdez a question on this first. Just to give you a little backup on 8E, last year you all approved for the chief deputies to get paid the overtime. I don't know if you all remember that. However, it was brought to my attention that it only pertained to fiscal year 2012, and this allows for it to also be for 2013. That's all that clarifies.
To be paid overtime out of the grant.
It's approved also for the 2013
That's
year.
So
Item E.
These are grant dollars.
These are grand dollars, yes, sir.
Move to approve item E.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Judge, on item 8A, can we go ahead and move to approve?
I
with the
think they're
understanding
looking
that it
up
would
to
be
see
comparable?
they're looking up a question that was raised.
On the chief deputy positions, the Precinct 1 chief deputy is at a step 3. Precincts 3 and 4, I believe, are at step 2. So
Step what?
Step 2.
How much difference in?
So, thank you, Sergio.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner, so a step 3 is at $53,270. Step 2, which Sergio just mentioned, is $51,468.
Well, the highest one we've got is a step 3. If we approve this, would be what? Step 6 is
Step
what?
6 is at $59,060.
How much? 6.9 or 5.9?
5.9.
So a $6,000 difference from the comparable
Yes, sir.
position?
Just
Well,
roughly.
I think the issue is not necessarily the amount of the money, although that obviously is at all times, but the parity. We want to make sure that all of the chief deputies get the same amount.
Correct.
Otherwise, next week, we're going to come in and the others are going to want to increase it up to step 6.
Okay. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. The reason we came up here is Captain Campos, who's still with the Sheriff's Office, currently on vacation, has been at the Sheriff's Office for 25 years. His current salary is set at $66,950, so he's taking a demotion in pay, but taking a promotion in rank. Since the sheriff's office pay scale and rank structure doesn't coincide with the constable's office, what we were proposing that his tenure as a captain at the sheriff's office, which is a total of 6 complete years, be used in the constable's pay scale as a step 6 due to his years of service as a captain, is the only way we could compare him. So we're asking that his tenure as a captain at the sheriff's office, which is 6 years, coincide with the constable's years of service.
It sounds practical, but Esther, can you tell us what our policy is? I mean, otherwise, we're never going to.
This is a totally different department, a totally different elected official, right?
Correct,
Yes.
Commissioner.
So the step-in grades applies to the sheriffs and the constables. But can we substitute this 25 years of service?
Can we wait for another week? No.
Yeah, why don't we wait? Next time you'll be.
Okay, well, and the reason this came about is because of his change of status requires that information to be provided. The change of status needs to be effective the
Our
first.
attorney says we should wait another week so she can research.
Okay. Perfect.
But it'll be January the 8th.
Constable, when does he officially start with you?
On the 1st, Commissioner. Yes, sir.
That's why it's urgent for you, right?
Yes, sir.
No, but we can always, go.
Yeah.
Can we go back?
Retro.
And,
Can't do retroactive.
Okay.
You'll start off as step 2, and then on the 8th, if we approve it, it'll
So as
go
far as
up
the change
to
of
whatever
status,
we
we,
decide.
Step three.
okay.
Step 3.
the highest is step 3 right now.
Right, but right now, his current step is step 2, Joe.
Yeah.
He's hired at a step 2.
Well, that's what he is at the sheriff's department, right?
But if you want to make him comparable, he'd be
Step
step
2.
3,
You're
like
asking
you
to
said.
go to a
No,
step
Step 6, correct, ma'am.
So it'll stay at step 2? Unless he wants to move it up to step 3, but he really would like to be considered for step 6.
Step 6, correct.
Real quick, and I don't mean to stretch Austin here, but probably to all fairness, if you look at the salary schedule, and I don't know if y'all have that, the highest step for any deputy constable or deputy sheriff would be step 4, because the way the step and grade was implemented in 2005. Those that were employed prior to 2005 that have gone through the steps now would be going to step 4 come January 1st. That is the highest that any deputy sheriff or deputy constable, whether you're a sergeant, whether you're a lieutenant, because a lieutenant is where it stops on the step and grade. Lieutenant down at the sheriff's office, you're on step and grade. So the highest would be step 4.
So there's no way we could go to step 6.
But, I mean, it's your call.
What's yours right now, Larry?
2.
2, and you're going up to?
No, that's January 1st.
Oh.
Because you all increased it 1 step, but you have to remember a lot of
So
these
January
deputies.
1st, you'll be up to step 3?
A lot of these deputies were held back because there was no increase in step for 2 or 3 years. So a lot of them should be probably, if it continued
Yeah.
every year, should be at step 6.
I think it's a good suggestion to wait until the 8th. By that time, we'll know what the effect of January
I agree.
1st coming and going is and where we are, when we're looking at all of our deputy constables.
Correct. Okay,
Let's put it back on the agenda then, Constable.
sounds good. Very good. And if I may, I'd like to just commend Constable Alanis on his 20 years of service as a Precinct 2 constable and thank him for his service to law enforcement in general and congratulate him on his resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioner.
All right, item F.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
Constable Precinct 480 Guerra, happy holidays. My item is requesting approval to process the following invoices as claims with authority for the county treasurer to issue payment after review, audit, and process procedures are completed by the county auditor. These were invoices, the work that was done in 2011, and I have budget in my 2012 to pay these invoices.
Motion
These
approved.
invoices were, work was done to my vehicles.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, item 9, this is one in a series of salary adjustment request. Did you make a list of all of the requests, Father?
Yes, Judge, Mrs. Chapa and I, you should have it there on your agenda. Mrs. Chapa, does he have it? They should be highlighted, Judge.
Estos son estos también. All on the agendas, and the agenda items are what?
How much is about 800,000? Yeah, 880. $1 million.
When we're looking at a summary of all of the personnel actions that are being requested, salary increases on this agenda, the total amount that it would impact the general fund is $1,770,882.68. But before we even get to consider the issue and the money, I think we need to get beyond a legal issue that has been brought to our attention as to whether or not we could even legally consider it, any of these requests. And Valerie, I know that earlier we had asked you to be prepared to talk to us and explain what the statutes say on this issue.
Well, depending on how the requests are couched, there's a lot of different issues that come into play. But the biggest one is the bulk of these requests seem to request money from the general fund or money from y'all. And I think y'all are well aware that you're governed by statute and you can only spend funds in compliance with the budget that y'all have already done and filed and approved. So there's two ways to tap into that budget or those funds. One, you could authorize an emergency expenditure as an amendment to the budget, but only in the cases of, and the statute says, grave public necessity to meet an unusual and unforeseen condition. Well, this isn't going to meet. It's very foreseeable that everyone's going to want cost of living increases. So we can't go to that one. The only other way you can do it is you can amend the budget to transfer an amount that you've already budgeted to one line item, and you can move it to another line item. But you cannot amend the budget until after the first of the year. So really kind of the bottom line is you can't do anything today as far as approving. If you decide that you're going to allow these departments to tap the general fund, you can't make any amendments until after the first of the year. So I think what you ought to do is listen to everyone's argument, hear their discussions, and then reset it for after the first of the year, and then you'll be deciding whether you are going to amend it, whether you're not going to amend it, whether you're able to do it, or whether you're not able to do it.
Shouldn't this be taken care of when we work on our budget September?
It should have been, yes. And so, and that's, some of these may have already budgeted into it, and they're just asking for internal, it may be okay. But for the ones that are asking, and I believe one of the very large ones is from the DAs, and he is asking for you to tap the general fund, which that's going to have to be a consideration, but it cannot be done today. It cannot be done till after the first of the year.
Not even if we, just legally, it cannot be taken up then?
It can't,
Just acted
Steve,
on.
I just got another text from Steve Crane. You cannot amend the budget till after the first of the year. You can talk about it, you cannot take action to amend the budget till after the first of the year.
You were going to say something?
Judge, Commissioners, I was just going to ask if we will be having then a January 1st Commissioners Court meeting. And the reason for that is we have created positions after the adoption of the budget, and those positions were not included in the 2013 budget. Those positions have been filled, so there's existing personnel that if we do not take action on 1/1 will be unemployed 1/1 and will not be able to be brought.
Can we take action on those particular ones that we?
I would have to defer to Ms. Glass, because, I mean, based on that statement, that's my concern as far as on those positions that were created.
Well, I guess I don't understand your question. They were budgeted?
No, they were not budgeted. They were created after the budget was adopted. Hence, they were not included
gotta
in
be
the
back
2013 budget.
So you're saying we need to come back on January 1?
If the case is that we cannot take action to create those positions again,
ones are
effective
those?
1/1, then
Which ones are those? I mean, we should have.
the sheriff's deputies that were hired, and then there's several other positions, personnel actions that were taken after the adoption of the budget totaling $621,000. The majority of that is the sheriff's new positions, which they have already been interviewing. I'm not sure if individuals on that position have been hired. but I know-
Wait, could you refer which item number?
Sure. Let me go back down. It'll be H, let me look at my item, 28H.
28.
Yeah, 28H4. These are all personnel actions that were approved after the budget process. We had deleted a maintenance 3 and created another maintenance 3 position, so that individual was already hired. We created an engineering technician back in November of this year. I believe that position has been filled. We've created all of these, all the way up to item 13, which is on the WIC department. These are personnel changes that we made after the adoption of the budget process. I know last year we did come several days before the end of the fiscal year, and we approved the items for the next fiscal year, which is what we followed suit this year. We've been doing that, I think, for the past 3 years.
What I'm hearing is that we can't act on it until after January 1.
And my concern then would be that then we would, if we're going to keep these individuals employed 1/1, then we would have to have court action on 1/1.
I can be here on 1/1.
Well, we're going to be here for swearing-in ceremonies over at the old administration building. We can come over here again.
That, Judge,
We're still within the
we're still within the
posting
72 hours, and Judge Commissioners, and I would suggest, just because of what Sergio just brought up, and yes, Sergio's correct, the bulk of that dollar amount he just mentioned were the officers that were authorized for the sheriff's office for the courthouse security because of the additional work that was done at the courthouse. Then if that's the case, then on 1/1, we have a court session just on those items. Because I know that legal is going to be looking at the legal aspect of the adjustments, increases, reclass, whatnot with respect to salaries. But again, I think, what is it, about 95% of what you just mentioned is the sheriff's office.
If you need to set up a meeting, you got to take into consideration ceremonies presently set.
Okay.
We've got to be in precinct 3 at 9:30. Precinct 2 is at 10:30.
We can have it at
We
about
could have a
1
new-
o'clock.
Yeah?
Can we have it at 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock, okay, then Monica, let's get together, we'll do a 1 o'clock posting for January 1st at our courtroom. Judge Commissioners, we can do it at our courtroom, our old courtroom, the old administration building.
Well, no,
What time is swearing-in de Rolando?
We'll be done by 12.
Well, let's just do it at 12. That way we don't have to wait around and,
Okay, so we'll do it.
You won't be here, right? You won't be here, I'll be here, you'll be here?
Yeah.
What about Commissioner Palacios?
AC will be here.
Okay.
What time is it swearing in on Monday? All right,
Yeah, he's going to be sworn in. What time is Commissioner-elect swearing-in ceremony? 9, yeah, he'll be a commissioner by then. His first duty is going to be a 12 o'clock meeting. You need to remind him.
Where at?
Okay, we will do it at our old courtroom, at the old administration building.
All right.
Monica, 12 o'clock, and then we'll get with Sergio on those particular items.
Just on the positions that were already
That were already acted on after the budget process.
that and they've been paid through December 31st.
Yes.
But you need approval to
We need
pay them.
approval to continue the employment after 12/31.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge Commissioner.
Do you need a bailiff?
Yes.
So on all of these other requests, Valerie, I want to make sure that we clarify, or you clarify your position. We cannot act on any of them unless, number one, there's an emergency and none exists, or number two, we can transfer within the budget.
From one item to another, and it
But
appears
that
that there
cannot
would...
be done until after
The first of the
January
year.
1st.
Correct. You cannot amend the budget till after January 1.
And then only under those certain circumstances that you need to elaborate for us.
Right. Well, I mean, we're going to look into, everyone's requests are different. There's numerous. And so we're going to have to just evaluate, and then you're going to have to decide, the commission, y'all are going to have to discuss and decide whether it's going to come out of the general fund. I mean, that's a separate decision. But legally, you can't even move until after the first of the year.
All right? Because,
Take no action on this one?
well, we cannot take any action on any of it until January the 8th, I believe.
First meeting, which would be the 8th.
Yeah, the first meeting.
Well, you don't want to put it on that January 1 meeting?
No, no.
Yeah, so January 8th.
All right. So we're going to be, we're not going to be taking any action. Now, does anyone want to be heard that has made a request for themselves or their staff to have a salary adjustment? Or do you want to wait until January the 8th when we're actually going to consider it?
Judge, Commissioner. Judge, I agree that for the positions that were approved already by the court before after the budget was approved, I think on January 1, we need to take
Right.
action on that. We were requesting some personnel actions for deletions and creations, but we're willing to wait till the 8th.
But that's within your all's budget.
Yes, sir, but still, I think it still applies in terms of the rules still applies. What I'm saying is, I don't think we need to put them on the first. I think the first should be a brief just to address that, and we're willing to wait on the 8th for the creation and deletions that we have on this agenda.
All right.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. As far as requests, we had requested 2 additional positions, and it was after the budget, but that's because of Court 8, that we didn't know that it was going to get approved right away. And I remember during the discussion of the budget, we did bring up the matter that we were barely getting positions for Court 7, and we had stated that we would wait to get the 2 clerks until the end of the year, but Commissioners Court decided to go ahead and get that Court 8 going, so that's why we are requesting those 2 positions. I mean, we can wait until January the 8th, that's fine, but...
Are they up? Are you up and running yet? I mean...
Well,
You're...
the thing is that the judge that was appointed is already in office right now, so he's just changing titles.
Right.
So he will be up and running. I mean, he's already,
What
there's
about
no
his staff?
downtime.
The staff is going to be approved on number 10. I was looking at it.
10A. So is there a court coordinator, an assistant court
No,
coordinator?
no,
And the
no.
bailiff,
For ours is a county clerk.
Yeah.
We're
Aren't
requesting.
you 10A?
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
No?
You should-
On 13.
County clerk, 13A,
Oh, 13.
right?
Right.
But if we're
Those
going
can wait
to...
till the 8th of
Yeah,
January,
those
right?
can wait to the...
Okay. I mean, just if anybody
Yeah.
wanted to say anything.
Yeah, we'll do it then.
Okay,
That way, we're going to give Sergio an opportunity to go over all of these requests.
okay. Thank you. Can we get one other thing out of order? I'm here for the bonds also,
For the what?
for the bonds that have been filed at the county clerk's
item C.
office.
What item are you looking?
Item 13C, Judge. I'm sorry, yeah. 13C.
We have received the following bonds that have been filed at the county clerk's office, and they require approval by Commissioners Court.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
And that is for all of them, is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
The order approving bond will be given to Monica, Judge, for your signature.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, just a minute, Commissioner.
Judge, if I may,
Yes.
we have items that are not general fund funded. Do we get these approved today or wait till the first?
You know, I think we're going to be waiting on all of these related to salary adjustments till January the 8th.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to increase your assistant DA salaries without any legal issue. I do think they're underpaid.
But we have grants, we have the HIDA task force budget also that are not general fund funded.
But now you're asking, why didn't you not come in when we were talking about the budget?
We wait for the fund balance. We need to get a fund balance at the end of the year so that we can know how much money
That can be included
we...
January 1st, no?
Oh, no, the 8th.
No, but like his is on the grant.
Could you direct us to a number?
12,
January 1st, no,
12B, 12D,
Do we
12F.
have to get him approved because of the grant?
Well, the grant kicks in on 1/1.
Okay. But you're wanting money from the general fund, though, is what I'm
Not,
hearing.
these are not, the items that I need to present are not general fund funded.
Okay, then those we can take up on 1/1.
Yeah.
They'll be
Okay.
easy to look at.
Yeah, we'll add those to the 1/1 agenda.
Okay.
And that's 12B?
So all the items under 12.
12.
All the items are 12.
Okay.
January 1.
Judge, I did want to also comment on item 10A. If we could place that item as well on 1/1. This is for the incoming judge,
yes.
Cantu, his staff. He'll be now setting the salaries for those positions. The money was set aside for the county court at law number 8. However, and we did create those positions. However, we did not set a salary for those positions. And now that we've appointed a judge, he's given us the salaries for those slots. So we want to see if we can bring them in 1/1. That way he can transfer over his personnel effective 1/1. If we can just have authority to place it back on the agenda on 1/1 as well.
All right.
All right. So there's no action on item 9, item 10, item 11. Balde, our JP wants to get reimbursed for a counterfeit $100 bill.
Question approval of that.
Where's it at?
Yes, Sergio, are you aware of where was it deposited at the county treasurer's office, or was that counterfeit turned over to the proper authorities?
I think it was turned over to the proper authorities. However, they don't get credit back from the bank. So basically, they need to get indemnified of this $100 counterfeit bill.
Okay.
And then we would go back and refund their change fund and add another $100 to their
Actually,
change
this
fund.
bill was given to pay a fine or what?
Yes, this bill was given to pay a fine. It was a counterfeit bill. It wasn't discovered until after they went to make the deposit.
Okay.
So we're just requesting indemnification of this $100, and then we'll be asking to place back another $100 into their change fund.
Okay.
All right, sir. So I need a motion to approve
So
this
moved.
indemnification.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Now, let's move back and take care of the La Villa matter. Item 6A, 1 and 2. Item 6A1.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Michael Leo, County Judge's Office for Bobby Villarreal. 6.1, approval of interlocal agreement by and among City of La Villa, Hidalgo County, and Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 1, City of La Villa, allowing for Hidalgo County to participate in the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone. La Villa has presented before the court twice regarding the proposed TERS and the Delta Watershed Reclamation Project. When the bond referendum was approved by the court and the public, included was a $10 million allocation towards the Delta Water Reclamation Project, which would be situated in the TERS. At this time, we have Mayor Elizondo and Commissioner Rosa Perez from the City of La Villa, as well as Ryan Murphy, who can answer any questions as they may relate to the TERS. The Auditor's Office has reviewed and commented. The TERS has been reviewed and approved by legal after some changes were recommended. At this time, we are recommending approval, subject to final legal review and audit review.
How many acres is it, Mike?
1,912, I believe, is that right?
How many?
1,912.
That'd be with 1,200 acres out of the city limit, correct?
For the watershed project.
Right.
And that's the area around the proposed lake.
Right.
You don't have a map with you then?
Judge Commissioners, if I may, we just got an update with respect to the review of that document. In principle, yes, there's an agreement, but there's still a couple details that are being updated. So I think in principle, everything is ready to go, but it's important to note that it is being approved, or the recommendation is to approve, subject to final legal review.
What are those
by
details,
attorneys.
Buddy?
Valerie, do you have what's being hammered out?
No, all I have is this is on the agenda. It is not ready for execution. We received the agreement last night. It's still being revised.
Why were we not let that
Well, I know that they
before?
were wanting 100% and for 40 years, and there's no way we can go do that route because we've never done it. And our policy is now 50% and 20 years.
Judge and Commissioners, the plan as approved by the City of La Villa last night, along with Commissioner Quintanilla, who is part of the TERS Board, is a 20-year TERS with 50% participation.
Okay.
And the plan, as discussed with legal review, we've gone back and forth, and I think that even just as much as a few minutes ago, Auditor had questions that were addressed, that this be a 20-year TERS participation from the county as it's being presented before you today.
Okay.
So as it was approved last night with Commissioner Quintanilla and the TERS Board, it was also then approved by ordinance to be a 20-year TERS, adopting this plan that's being presented before you today as requested in triplicate.
That was at a 20-year for 50%.
Yes, sir, it's a 20-year
We're
TERS.
following normal procedures, Judge.
And amongst the watershed, almost more than, I think it's more than 3/4 of the land in the TERS zone is specifically the 1,200 acres of the watershed that Hidalgo County was approved in the drainage bond.
On this map that you provided to me, where is this TERS?
May I approach and just explain this?
Because you don't have it laid out. You've got in your legend,
On the map, the red zone delineates the
City of La Villa, right?
The green
It's agricultural.
The green is all part of the watershed, and then this pink area is within the city limits that were actually the original TERS zone, not including the watershed. So pretty much all of the green that's on that exhibit is the watershed.
Where's the jail?
The prison, sir, is
The prison.
is right here.
Where's 107?
107 is right here. It's just on top of it.
Why are you getting this area that's on the south side of 107?
This actually is also part of the watershed. So the city limit comes down to this point here, and this would be one of the first sedimentation basins in the watershed plan. So the watershed plan calls
Okay.
for the
All right.
oval here.
Thank
and
you.
it simply includes those
It
parts.
complements the project, Judge. It complements the entire
Yes.
project.
Okay.
And sir, if I need to point out, the GIS map, the Hidalgo County GIS map was prepared by David Flores with GIS.
Mrs. Glass, were you able to answer my question as far as what are the details?
No, I have a red line copy that we could pull up and look at it, but her latest one, which was a few minutes ago, has the agreement. If you decide to approve it, it should be authorized subject to such changes as determined by legal and audit. A few comments. If the city lowered its contribution based on a 2032 end date, the figures for the city are still wrong. Still waiting on feedback on the comments from the auditor. The calculation chart needs to be corrected. I mean, it sounds like it's just some nitty-gritty. I
Well,
don't.
we can approve it subject to legal and audit.
Yeah, we spoke with Commissioner, we spoke with Deborah Getz from Atlas and Hall right 10 minutes ago. A lot of the little things have been touched up. The one that she was alluding to was the city adopted an ordinance that extended the TERS to 2036, which was 25 years. We wanted to limit the county's participation at this time to 20 years. So either the city had to amend its ordinance, which there wasn't time to do, or what Deborah's going to do, and this is one of the reasons Roger is subject to, she's going to revise the agreement so the zone still goes through 2036. However, the county only participates for the 20 years through 2031.
Right.
And that's something that she's working on as
At
we speak.
50%. Move to approve, Judge, contingent to those items.
Subject to legal and audit?
Yes, subject to legal and audit.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Item 2, appointment of board members.
How many members are there?
I'm going to pass it on to Ryan in just a minute. Appointment of board members to represent the County of Hidalgo on the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 1, City of La Villa Board of Directors. There are 3, but let me have Ryan further.
I'm sorry, there's 3 members?
There will be 5 total members,
Five-member
of
board.
which 3 would come from the county. What we're recommending in this plan is that one be by title the precinct commissioner. And when we originally established our TERS board, we had Commissioner Quintanilla on the board, and he participated last night. But we'd like to ask that it be by title the precinct commissioner, that the county have a designate appointee, and that we request that also that the county have a second designate appointee that we're recommending be the drainage district director, simply because a large portion of the TERS plan is part of the watershed. So there'd be 3 total appointees by the court, and simply within the plan, it's up to the court's discretion.
The third one is whoever we'd like to pick, I guess.
Yes, sir.
We'll let the judge pick that one.
All right. I guess, do we do it today, or do we, you're going to be a member of the board for 2 days or 3 days?
Well, basically what Ryan is saying is that the incoming Commissioner Quay would automatically be a board member.
Right.
And then the drainage director, which would be Mr. Garza, would be a board member.
Right.
And the third would be your appointment, Judge.
Okay.
That's
You can do that
what we're
today.
recommending, and we feel will really complement the project.
I would entertain a motion to that effect.
Move for rule.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
So then the third board member would be who, Judge?
Right, Judge, they're asking if we can put on the...
Go ahead and put it on and name them.
Next meeting?
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll do it soon.
Did you need it beforehand?
If possible, the judge, they would like the county judge's appointment to be named for the record. The other 2 are by title.
They want the judge to serve?
No, the judge to name their designee.
Yeah, and I will. I'll do it on the 8th.
Okay, you're okay with that? Okay, I'm sorry, that's fine. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Did you want to take 6B at this time, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. Discussion, consideration, and approval of tax abatement agreement between Hidalgo County and Grand Rapids Foam Technologies. This is a project that was shared with the court back in April, a manufacturing company coming down from Michigan. It's over a $3 million project. Total jobs created was about 150, 135 at the $9.50 to $10.50 an hour range. The other 15, anywhere from 35 to 120,000 per year. Collections will still, even with the abatement that was proposed during the 10-year period, will still collect over $500,000. We've had it was provided by legal to the applicant's legal, and the auditor has reviewed it as well, and at this time we're asking for approval.
Any concerns from the auditor or anyone else?
They had some initial concerns regarding the exhibits, but those were taken care of this morning.
Regarding what, Mike?
The exhibits, the complete listing of the exhibits. There was one exhibit that was missing.
Have you addressed those concerns?
Yes, we have, Judge.
All right.
The tax abatement is for how long?
For 10 years.
10 years?
We can just approve it subject
And
to any.
Yeah, subject to any concerns being voiced by either legal or the auditor, like we did that other.
Yeah, that's my motion.
Second.
All right, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Where are we at?
Item 12 is no action.
12 I have is, we'll take up on January, all of 12 on January 1, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay.
And that will apply to A and B and
All of them.
all of it.
All at 12.
Okay.
13?
Now on 13,
13's January 8th.
all right.
13A is January 8th.
Yeah.
Oh, and B also.
And B, yeah.
And we've done
And D.
C.
Yeah, you already did C.
C's been done. D is the 8th as well.
All the other ones are on the 8th,
The 8th.
D.
So we have item 14, Judge Commissioners, and that's for the Health and Human Services Department. There is no discussion or action today with respect to the indigent healthcare program. Mr. Olivares is out today, so there is nothing.
But maybe we ought to do C.
Right, C, yeah, yes. C, no, not C. at this point. B, the 1115 waivers, there's nothing to discuss today. Item C, I am asking the court to take action. This is also a transfer. This is a washout. The transfer includes the funding. Mr. Olivares has been working with my office. He has been for quite some time asking for additional resources to help him with all the new assignments that he's had. More specifically, I know that the 1115 waiver document.
This is a transfer along with the money?
Along with the money, yes. 1, 2, 3,
Need a motion
4,
to
and
approve
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5?
So moved. Thank you, Judge
Those in
Commissioner.
favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 15, Ms. Longoria is also out today, but she is asking for the acceptance of a grant check from the March of Dimes Community Awards Funds. This is in the amount of $2,000.
Second.
And Judge Commissioners, if it pleases the court, items 2 and 3 are related. It's the certification of revenues by the auditor from the March of Dimes Community Funds and the appropriation of said funds.
Those in favor of the motion as made and seconded as to 1, 2, and 3 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 16, I believe, will be the 8th.
On the 8th.
On the 8th.
On the 8th.
So item 16.
I had a question on the temporaries, only on the temporaries, which was.
We will be taking that on
also?
1/1.
Okay, thank you.
The temps will be 1/1, Renan. Item 17, that's also deferred action for January.
Which one, 8th or 1st?
17A.
No, but for the 1st or the 8th?
8. Item 18, Ms. Serna. I'm sorry, Mr. Barco's in the audience. Ms. Serna is out today. I thought I had seen Diana earlier. Mr. Barco?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Gandhi. Item A.
17A is also going to be on the 8th.
Yes,
is
sir.
that- All right.
Yes.
Item A, request an exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262024A4 for professional engineering services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of at least 3 engineering firms from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by City of Peñitas Urban County Program and Hidalgo County Purchasing Department in connection with and funded through Hidalgo County Urban County Program Year 25 Peñitas Street Improvements Funds. First firm was LNG Engineering,
Move to approve the
92.34.
scoring grids
Javier
presented.
Hinojosa Engineering, 91.34. Sams Incorporated, 89.67.
Judge?
Yes.
Move to approve the scoring grids presented.
Second.
If those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, item B, authority to negotiate a professional engineering service contract with number 1 ranked firm of, this will be LNG Engineering.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item B, requesting approval to cancel the award of bid for the demolition and reconstruction of an existing structure in the city of West Laco in the amount of $53,740 to G&G Contractors.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, Urban County Program on behalf of the City of La Jolla is requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with J-Con Construction LLC for the La Jolla Public Facilities Improvements Project in the amount of $358,500, utilizing funds from UCP years 19, 21, 22, and 24, Urban County Public Facilities Improvements line item.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item D, requesting approval of a budget and program amendment for the City of Progreso to the Urban County Program Year 25 Work Plan. The amendment will delete Parks Recreation Facilities line item by $40,000 and increase the street improvements line item and add the following streets: Martinez Street, Arroyo Street, Maritza Street, all streets located within Colonia Las Palmas, Obregon Street, Pine Street, Oak Street, Corporal J.R., Becerra Street, and Staff Sergeant S.W. Daly.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E, request an exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262024A4 for architectural services.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, presentation of scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by Commissioners Court of at least 3 architectural firms from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by City of Weslaco Urban County Program and Hidalgo County Purchasing Department with connection and funded through Hidalgo County Urban County Program Year 24, City of Weslaco Public Facilities Improvements Project, Library. The first one would be Alcocer Garcia and Associates Incorporated, 93, GAG NAC Associates, 89.67, Gomez Mendez Signs Incorporated, 88.33.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is authority to negotiate a architectural service contract with the highest ranked firm of Alcocer Garcia and Associates.
Move to approve.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next item, 19.
Good morning, Amanda Valdez from the Elections Department. 19A is ratification of lease contract for election services between Hidalgo County and the City of Alamo for their election held on December 15th. We finally got the final signed contract from the city yesterday late afternoon.
This was held on December.
Yes, the election day is already passed. Election day is already passed. We just got the contract in, though.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And 19B, I believe, is going to be
19, if I may,
for 1-1?
19B is 1-1.
Okay. Thank you.
Judge, with that being said, 20A is also 1-1. 21A, we're asking authority to go ahead and start the advertisement process for our Public Defender's Office for a Clerk 1 position.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Mr. Peña?
Judge, Commissioners, item 22A, 1 and 2 is for the same thing, approval of an interlocal agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the United Irrigation District for the improvements on FM 681 road project, and the approval of the interlocal agreement, road improvement 681, with authorization of County Judge to sign all pertinent documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is discussion and authorization for County Judge to execute settlement agreement and general release of claims for condemnation case CCD 0061B, Hidalgo County versus Southern Anchor LTD for the FM 681-2221 road project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
And item C is discussion and authorization for County Judge to execute possession and use agreement for drainage purposes on the Minnesota Drain Project, parcel 20, and request County Treasurer to issue manual check in the amount of $7,438 and no cents after review and auditing procedures are completed by the auditor.
That's on precinct 2, Minnesota drainage? Yeah. But now or 3?
22.
On C, what is it? Which precinct is that on?
What, sir?
On C. ¿Cuál precinto es? Which precinct?
That's one of the LNG condemnation cases where we're...
On my precinct?
Right,
On
on one of
Minnesota
your,
Road?
yeah.
Not
681. yeah.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's on Minnesota Drain. It's not on, yeah.
Where's that at?
Precinct 2.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Motion is still the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 1A is Presidio Estate subdivision. It's in Precinct 1. It's a 96-lot, single-family subdivision. It is in a Zone C, and it received final approval from the Advisory Board on December the 18th. We're recommending approval.
What about all of the other departments that are now having to check off? Have they signed off?
They have signed off, yes, sir. We've commenced that process where they sign off on a routing sheet.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 1B is RBA Peach McAllen subdivision. This is a one-lot commercial subdivision in Precinct 4.
It was approved by the city of McAllen. It's in their ETJ. It's in a flood zone X, and it received final approval on December the 18th from the advisory board. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 1C is Pueblo de Palma's number 14. That's located in Precinct 4. It is a 36-lot, single-family residential subdivision in the city of Edinburgh, ETJ, and it received approval from the city. It has sanitary sewer. It is in a Zone X, and it received final approval on December the 18th from the advisory board. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2A is Cardinal Lake subdivision located in Precinct 4. It's a 30 single-family lot subdivision. It's also in the city of Edinburgh, ETJ, and was approved by the city. It is in a Zone X, and it did receive final approval with a financial guarantee of $129,570.98 on December the 18th. We're recommending approval as well.
What is the money for?
It's for escrow of the OSSF septic tank systems, paving, drainage, and street signs.
Yeah.
Commissioner?
Yeah. Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 24, Precinct 1.
Judge, on that, there was a reappointment of board members to the Fire District Number 2 Board. Those are expired this month, and basically, I'm the sitting county commissioner at this point. That's why I put it on the agenda. The incoming commissioner would come in on January 1st, and basically, he could do whatever he feels is right then. This is not about trying to get someone on the board that shouldn't be there or trying to help out a friend. This is strictly because it's policy, and these appointments are up. And it's up to you all on how you want to address it.
I got a call that the legal issue is that they don't become vacant until January 1st. And what do you,
But they're supposed to be appointed this month. We actually looked at the way it was written up, the policy, if we want to call it policy. Their appointment comes this month to start serving next month.
And did you talk to Steve about it?
No, ma'am, it's been like that for the longest time.
Okay. Judge, I don't know. I don't know the answer. We can
because
call
I know
Steve in
that,
a
for
break
example, in our county court of law position, we had to wait until after September 1st,
to appoint.
until the position
Was
took
vacated.
effect. Right. And can we appoint somebody to serve at a future time is a legal issue.
And I don't know the answer to that. I could call
Can
Steve
this be
at a
brought
break.
back January 1st?
It's up to you all how you want to handle it, Judge. I don't have a problem with it.
I know in what we've done in the past, we waited until after the position took
That's
effect,
fine.
was created or became vacant.
That's fine, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't have an issue with it. I'll just bring it up because their terms expire. That's fine.
Okay. But they don't expire until the end of the month.
Midnight, yeah.
Yeah, December 31st. And then they become vacant January 1st.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so there'll be no action then on 14A?
24A.
Excuse me, 24A. And where are we on 25B? Is this one of those that we're going to take up later?
Judge, Commissioners, 25A, we've already done. 25B, we're willing to wait till January the 8th. On 25C, I think those will probably have to be on
1-1.
January the 1st.
Right, 25C is 1-1.
So we're down to 25D. This is approval, just a minor correction, Judge Commissioners. It reads approval of revision to the interlocal agreement between the City of San Juan and the Drainage District for the Minnesota Drainage Project. Actually, this amendment, this interlocal was approved by Commissioners Court already. There was a typo in the percentage of the project that's within the city limit, and it said 25% on the approved document. It should have said 25, so we're really asking not for a revision to the agreement, but rather a correction from 25 to 75, and that the item, paragraph 2, item number 2, paragraph 3 should read as follows: the drainage improvements are located to be located in the area approximately 75% of which is in the municipal limits of San Juan, and the remaining portion are to be located in the rural areas. It read 25 on the document that was approved. It should have read 75. It's really a correction rather than a revision.
You're requesting approval?
Yes, sir,
Yes.
for the correction. I think we don't need to reapprove the document, just the correction.
Move for approval? Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Precinct 3.
Don't drop the ball, Mingo.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
We're taking one item. Item B will be for January the 1st, but item A, discussion and approval of LPA Standard Utility Agreement, FM 681, Shared Land Water Supply, a water line adjustment, removal, and/or replacement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B will be on January the 1st, Judge.
Yes.
All right, sir.
Happy New Year to all of you, and a belated Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir.
That's why I got him there.
Item 27, Precinct 4.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 27A, we're taking no action. Item 27B is the approval of the application water tap work order to obtain water meter for FM 186 and FM 1017 project with the authority for the county treasurer to issue payment in the amount of $1,235 to the city of Edinburgh after review and auditing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Move for approval?
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Morning, Judge Commissioner. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 28A is approval to designate the amount of $4,149,673.30 in year 2012 for expenditures related to repairs and maintenance of the county jail in connection with the landmark case settlement agreement, case C312303I. We're requesting to designate this amount and reserve these amounts at the end of this fiscal year. These are the amounts that we expect to have unexpended from the landmark settlement case. This will allow us to then go and reappropriate these monies come fiscal year 2013 for this same purpose, once they're designated and reserved for this purpose. So we're requesting approval of that designation and reserving that amount.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 28B, we will bring back on 1-1. 28C is a report and approval of the emergency transfers for the period of January through December 2012. We attached to the agenda a report of all the emergency transfers that we have approved, given the authority from the court for us to move items on an emergency basis from one line item to another. These are the same transfers that we report on the monthly report. So we're just requesting formal approval of those transfers.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D will be brought back as well on 1-1 for the creation of those temporary positions. Item E is approval of any changes to compensation. This is basically longevity and any allowances that were approved during the budget process to be effective December 31st, 2012. This is so that to avoid the proration of the longevity pay and the allowance pay, the total impact for this fiscal year will be $1,200.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F will be brought back on 1-1. It's the order setting the salaries of the court reporters and also the salaries of the auditor's office. These have already been approved by the Board of Judges. We'll bring those back on 1-1 for acceptance and approval of those orders. Item G is approval. Item G1, A and B is approval of the certification of revenues certified by the county auditor and appropriation of those funds for the Precinct 4 Drainage Improvement Project in the amount of $66,145.95. These are for labor reimbursements on drainage projects for September and October of this year.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G2, we'll bring that back on 1/1. This is just approval of their fund balance on their HB 65 account. Item G3 is approval of 2012 appropriation of funds for the Precinct 4 road maintenance program from the Road and Bridge fund balance in the amount of $47,000. This is to cover fuel expenditures.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 28H1 is approval to collect within a period of 90 days the overpayment of clothing allowance paid to employee number 056448, and that's in the amount of $480.75. We're just requesting that we, this is an overpayment of that clothing allowance. We're requesting that we bring back, or actually charge back that amount to the
So you
employee.
deduct it from his paycheck, or what?
Yes, over a period of 90 days.
Move to approve.
Can I just ask a question? What is this? What type of employee is this? Is this a uniform?
Yes, these are uniforms that, well, they're clothing allowance. Basically, we give them a set amount of money for them to buy uniforms, yes. But
And
these
now,
are
and now
owned
you're
by
going to
the
take it
employee.
back from him?
He was overpaid on the clothing allowance. He should not have had that clothing allowance paid to him. So it's an overpayment of that.
And so you're going to take it out of his check?
Yes, we're just going to go back and reclaim that money.
You have
Over-
written authorization?
Yes, we'll have the employee sign the documentation. We're just requesting approval from the court for us to do that over a period of 90 days.
Okay, and that won't take him, it won't interfere with any wage and hour issues?
No.
Okay.
There's a motion to
We can
approve.
get approval of that?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 28H2, we're requesting approval to create the following cost allocations to cover the 3% cost of living increase and the one-step increase, if applicable, from the general fund for the following grants effective 12/31. This is, since court did approve the 3% to be effective 12/31, these next items are going to be on grant positions where the grant cannot cover the increase, so we will have to get that approved via general fund. So we will be bringing these items again on 1/1, but we do need action today as well, so that we can already start charging that increase to the general fund
So
for the
basically,
12/31.
these are employees that have being paid out of grant funding.
Yes.
And you just want to give
Or
them a 3%.
The 3% will be paid
Right.
out of general fund.
Move to approve items A, B, C.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And that was for the Public Defender's
AB.
Office?
Yes.
Okay, we request the same action on item 2 for the Constable Precinct 3 Stop Truancy Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And we're requesting the same action on item 3 for the Cops Universal Hiring
Move to approve.
on the Sheriff's
Second.
Office.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And
Aye,
that did
motion
include,
carries.
that did include items B and
Includes
C,
B and C,
the
yes.
transfer and the revised salary
Right.
schedule. Item 3, we'll bring back on 1/1 again.
Which one, that's H3?
Yes. Those are auto allowances that were not included during the budget process. We'll need to bring those back. Item 4, these are as well items that were approved after the budget, so we will bring those back on items 4. H4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We will bring back, and then also item 1 on the WIC, we'll bring that back as well on 1/1.
You're going to bring all these when?
1/1.
1/1. These are all items that were approved after the budget process, so we'll bring, these are the items that we'll need to bring back for 1/1 for approval.
And if I understand, they have people in them,
Yes,
and they are being paid through 12/31. The positions have been approved. It was after the budget, and you need 2013 money.
yes, correct.
Got it.
On item H5 is approval to authorize longevity supplemental and clothing allowance for various law enforcement positions as listed on the exhibit, and also to reset salaries on some of the law enforcement personnel as listed on the exhibit, as well as the interdepartmental transfer and revised salary schedule. Again, we're requesting this action so that we can make this effective 12/31, and then we'll bring this item back as well on 1/1. These are basically, the sheriff has shifted some of the assignment pay from one personnel to another, so we need to make these action approved on 12/31. That way they can be effective that day, and then bring them back on 1/1.
Approval of 5A, B, C, and D, and E.
Second.
Excuse me, D, up to D.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Have a happy New Year.
Thank you. Item 29.
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, I'd like to ask if you can take up the item that was posted under consent to now this regular agenda, which was 11F. It was just posted on consent instead of regular, but it was still posted. I have checked with Mr. Agapito Vargas. All the information is in the backup. You had 3 bidders. This is under Precinct 1, under Border Colonia. You have concurrence by TxDOT, recommendation by your engineer, and it is the lowest bid. And if I could take that up first.
I don't have a problem. The question I had to legal earlier was, you saying the auditor's recommendation was not approve it under consent agenda?
To
correct?
take it up under regular.
Right, under regular, but it's not posted under regular. Is that an issue or not an
No,
issue?
that is not an issue.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Thank you for that clarification, Commissioner. Okay, going on to the 29A1, 2, A, B, and C, nothing to discuss, take action, or present as a report. Under item 3, this is approval and acceptance of a rebate check from Staples in the amount of $25,572.03 for the participation on, with them.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
There's acceptance of another rebate transaction. This is with Citibank in the amount of $2,287.45, and that's for the third quarter.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 5 is some exemptions that we do annually. This is 5A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262, Section .024A3, under 7, under D, under 11, and under B, uppercase, films, manuscripts, and books. Those are the items we're going to be taking up then individually, but I need the exemption first.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B is requesting authority to purchase for repairs only, excludes maintenance for vehicles or equipment or county-owned vehicles and equipment from the vendors identified and detailed in the attached document through December, to extend through December 31st. Process with said authority to extend, it should be 2013, not 2012.
Move for approval of
Second.
item 5B with the correction to December 31st, 2013.
Second.
The other one is authority to purchase
We
parts
haven't
for,
voted yet. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, same sign. Motion passes. Go ahead now.
C is requesting authority to purchase parts for county-owned heavy equipment and machinery from the vendors listed on the detailed attachment. And that's through the end of December 2013.
All right.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
D is requesting authority to purchase parts for vendors. It's to purchase from vendors that provide books, publications, films, and manuscript as detailed in the attached list. And this is for all elected offices, departments, programs, and agencies, as well as
Move to approve.
specialized local entities.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is exemption from 262-024A8D, and this is for items of perishable and unperishable food for all of the departments listed.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Under that statute also, pursuant to the same statute, especially 262-024D, action on the following: solicitation of at least 3 quotes by, I'm recommending by number 3, written quotations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
G, set the intervals for the solicitation for quotes. I'm recommending Esmond Historic, current and historic time frame is 30 days.
Move for approval.
No action on 2. All right? And on B, presentation approval of proposal draft solicitation quote for that statute.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 6 is presentation for discussion, consideration, and action, and also my recommendation to authorize the purchasing department to approve and process requisition number 0221-474 dated August the 8th, 2012, into a purchase order for weatherproofing technologies incorporated in the amount of $91,882.94.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And that is for the roof of the old administration building.
That's correct.
B1 is Precinct 1, acceptance and approval of work authorization 2 in the amount of $148,818.45 through requisition 227697 for contract number 226 with TEDSI
Move to
Infrastructure Group.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B, approval to enter into an interlocal agreement between the City of Mercedes and Hidalgo County in connection with contract number 226 TEDSI,
to
Mile 2
approve.
West Road.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, Precinct 2, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B, presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking the sole member of the county's approved pool as qualified to continue to the next step of the procurement process.
Move to
And
approve.
that is HLH, I'm sorry,
Second.
appraisal services.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional
Move to approve.
review appraisal services with
Need a second?
HLH.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is recommendation by project engineer, Raul Cecin P.E., Hidalgo County Planning Department, to award Precinct 2's Minnesota Road West of I-Road paving and drainage improvements to the lowest bidder, that's REIM, Ream Construction.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
And
carries.
just to clarify, that's the base bid only of $122,158.25. Going on to item D, Precinct 3, requesting exemption, Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court, the firms graded and evaluated. From the approved pool, that's Rods at 100, Quintanilla Headley and Associate at 88, and CBQ Land Surveyors. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional engineering services
Move to approve.
contract with
Second.
Rods.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting approval and authorization to purchase one new 12-by-44 modular office building through Hidalgo County's membership and participation with TASB buy boards vendor, and that is Ramtech Building Systems.
What's the cost of that?
Well, there's two options. Option 1 is $32,865. Option B is $37,120. I don't know which one Commissioner has left, but I would ask that the court allow either option to be selected by the precinct, or do you know which one?
The precinct has selected option 1.
Option A, item A, option 1,
Move to approve.
$32,865.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
3 is presentation of the sole bid received from Star Feed Yards LTD for the farming lease property of 160 acres plus or minus.
Move to approve.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
4, approval of professional engineering services contract to provide general engineering services, road and bridge projects, drainage improvements, and all other for Precinct 3 with Javier Hinojosa Engineering.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Acceptance and approval to award the proposal received from CAS companies in the amount of $92,723.67, and that is for the repair and renovation of the county clerk's roof project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Sunday, is everything in compliance with that, as far as, yes? Okay.
Item F,
Motion carries for the record.
thank you. Sheriff's Office requesting approval of supplemental agreement to current contract with Those Logistics Incorporated for the Sheriff's Office substation in the Precinct 1 area to reflect finished floor elevation
Move
certificate.
to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And then pursuant to the contract with Those Logistics, a request approved engineer to permit the subcontracting of those land surveying in connection with the same work.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Everyone have a safe and prosperous new year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. It was a pleasure working with you.
God bless you.
Karina. At this time, we proceed to executive session. Need a motion to proceed to
So
executive
moved.
session.
Second.
551071072. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Maybe the age would be the best. At the old Commissioner's Court.
It wasn't me. The judge was talking loud back there, or what? It's called what?
Can I leave? Where's all my stacks?
Oh, Monica's got it.
Okay.
Steve always gives it to Monica because it goes back to you.
But I want to take it so I know what to research.
Okay, we'll get it for you.
Okay.
It'll take 2 seconds, sir.
Do I have to stay here? Oh, okay.
Yes, 2 seconds.
Back in open session, Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Under item 31, open session, there is no action under item A, real estate. Item B, there is no action under pending potential. Item 31C, claim of Rogelio Vera. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $216.48.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 31D, claim of Leticia Chavez. I'd also like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $1,700.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 31E, claim of Rolando Pedraza. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $95.
Move to approve. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 31F, claim of Fabian Ibarra and Felix Ramos. We will proceed as directed, and the item will be brought at a later agenda. Item 31G, charge number 451-2012-02591, charge of Maria E. Weber. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like the court to entertain a motion in settlement of charge number 451-2012-02591, Maria E. Weber, in the amount of $5,000.
Move for
To
approval.
approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. I have no further items.
Move to approve. Move to adjourn.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Y'all have a happy new year, gentlemen. Commissioners.
Monica, I didn't see any bonds for JPs.